of the podcast. You never told the history behind the vomit.
The vomit spots? Okay, we can do that today. We're on Facebook Live now.
Oh.
Hey.
Hello, Facebook Live.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, there we go.
All right. 10:01.
Look at us being punctual. Is it too loud, Lise? Is yours louder than ours?
No, I probably just have.
Sensitivity issues?
Oh, bad buzzing.
Jess is trying to electrocute us.
I was trying to see if our headphones were higher than everyone else's, but they're not. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bras, Bitches, and Balls. And as always, I'm Nick. Lisa's here, having had a run-in with a patrol supervisor, apparently. And today we have
You're making that sound way cooler than
Carrie
it was.
from Goods, and here's Lee.
Hi, thanks for tuning in again. That's awesome. Good to see you guys. And yeah, my friend Carrie is here. She has Goods, and you can find her at
GoodsDetroit.com.
There you go. We'll talk about what she does and why you want to go and see her stuff shortly. But yeah, welcome to January of 2018.
Mid-January.
It's
Past
almost-
mid-January.
It's almost the
Yeah.
end,
We were sitting here. It's cold still, right? And I saw like just a few little cute snowflakes going by. So it just wants to remind us that we're still in Michigan.
Yeah.
But it's not really acting all angry like it was a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's, went from negatives to 40 to 29, which probably is why I'm stuffy. And
Yeah, but you kind of
Almost
sound sexy. Talk to me some more, Lisa.
My sister has the phone sex voice. She's like, yeah, somebody wanted me to sell vacuums one time, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not doing any kind of selling because she's got the
little too
low,
creepy.
sultry voice all the time.
Yeah,
No,
she does.
I
She
had
does.
that. I had that yesterday. I had a time-sensitive thing, and I called up the office of the person, and they were like, "Oh, I'm going to interrupt you. I love your voice. Hang on." And then she put me on speaker so the rest of the office could hear me talking.
You're like, can we do this after?
Could we maybe? I'm pleased, thank you, but we need
I
to.
appreciate your appreciation.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about some stuff I did this weekend first.
Okay.
Before I get into the bras, because I love the bra that I brought.
I do too.
I know. I can't remember if I brought it before, but I don't care because I love it.
I think you might have in a different
I think you
color.
might have, but it's
It just
pretty.
keeps coming out. It's fantastic, and the red and anyway. Okay, so that's a tease. But I went skiing this weekend. Do you
Nice.
guys ski?
I've No. never skied.
You've never skied?
Cross country in gym class.
What about the kids?
Ah.
Have they ever skied?
No.
Oh, it's time. It is so time. So I went to this place in Gaylord called Otsego. And Otsego used to be a private club. So to go there, you had to be invited by a member or they had to have a special weekend. And we used to go with my kids' school. So it would be the third weekend or whatever it was in January. And we'd go with another family. So it was supposed to be closed, no more skiing, done, right? I was really sad because I liked it. It's a very old-timey feel to it. If you've ever watched the first Pink Panther, where it's David Nevin is the main guy and not Peter Sellers.
Right.
Peter Sellers is there and he's really funny, but it's so unlike any other Pink Panther. But that's what it reminds me of, that ski resort, which is set in Italy there, right? But this is in Gaylord, Michigan. So they opened it up to the public. A new company bought it. It's totally open to the public. You don't have to be a member. But they did it so late that they didn't have time to really boost it out there for the season. So on Sunday,
Quiet.
it was just us and 2 other families.
Wow.
Nice.
My group and 2 other groups for the whole place, right? So we skied Saturday, and I was just going to snowshoe because that's all I did. 'Cause one time when I skied, I broke myself badly.
Lucas.
Yeah. Which I hear is the thumb. thumb. The thumb injury you had is a very common
Yeah.
skier's
is.
injury.
It is. So, and you can't even see, look at the scar. You can't
Wait,
even
that
see
was
it.
a few years ago, right?
That was 2 years ago. Yeah, 2015. January 2015. Is that what I told you earlier? Did I
It
say
was
2016?
January 2015.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I've been snowshoeing ever since. And this time, one of the instructors said, "No, come on, tell her to get on the skis with me. I'll show her some ropes." And he was really calming, right? So he had this really great voice. I went ahead and got the skis and got out there and was like, "Fine, Bob, what?
God, he was
I'm
called
done, Bob." And he's really, really nice, but and really calm, almost to the creepy point. You know what I mean?
Like, what are you on?
Right. I was like, "Okay, I'll go with you, Bob." It kind of reminded me of
Go
how.
to this little chalet.
Right.
I like that van with no windows in it, Bob.
Yeah.
So,
Is that where the après ski is?
and you realize, you're on this mountain by
You're
yourself
not
with a
being a
guy that you
murderino.
don't know who it
Yeah.
is, and there's really not that many people out here.
I think there's
And
got to be a
he's in
murder rule
control.
against that.
Because I'm on skis.
Yeah.
Well, by the end of the day, I was actually skiing, like thinking, "Hey, speed looks like fun. I used to ride motorcycles. I can do skis." And I was actually skiing. And on Sunday, I couldn't stop skiing, and I was so sweaty. If my mother was listening to this podcast, which she could be, she'd be like, "Lee doesn't sweat. Sweating is not part of Lee's every day." If I ever did, I was in the shower, right?
Right.
Oh my God, there's a bead of sweat. But no, I was sweating my ass off. My hair was slicked back with it and just going to town. I loved it. Loved it. I say, everybody go to Gaylord, go to Otsego this year if you can, because there's nobody else skiing on these awesome mountains. And it's not long. It's really short. You start at the top, and
So it's not that steep.
it's not that
They're
steep.
simple runs. There's like no blacks or.
There
black
are a
runs.
couple of blacks. There
Yeah.
are a couple of blacks, but you can stay off of
Okay,
them.
you're talking
Huh.
about diamonds, just to be clear.
Black diamonds.
Skiers.
Yeah, the runs, the runs,
But
the type of
they're
run.
colors. They're colors. They are. Anyway, they were fun. I liked it. I enjoyed it. All right, do you want to see what the bra of the week is?
I would love to see
Okay.
the bra of the week.
All right, I'll shut up.
I went geocaching.
You
While
did?
you did, yeah. No, you show the bra of the week. I'll just
Okay.
tell people. Yeah, I went geocaching while you were up skiing, and not much though because it was rainy and gross. It's Matilda, right?
This is Matilda by my favorite company, Elomi. Well, one of my favorite companies. I shouldn't say they're my favorite, but I do love them so much. This is
They're the favorite
Matilda.
this week because their bra is on this
Yeah.
week.
Right.
I do love them this week. No, they are an amazing company, and this bra goes up into the double J's and K cups, so it really holds and supports. But it's beautiful. So you can see it's that 4-part cup, which I know I talk about a lot. And when I say 4-part cup, I mean it actually has 4 different pieces of material that have been sewn together, which means they're supporting your breast in different directions. The material is actually pulling and supporting. And it does have this beautiful little bit of stretchy lace. It doesn't have much give to it, but it lays beautifully. It plunges down, and 4 cups that size to have a nice, beautiful plunge without having your breast coming out. It's just a beautiful feature. So they keep coming out in this bra in many, many colors, and now we have the red, and we do have the matching panties. The other thing that's cool about this, and you guys have seen this before, is the J-hook.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the J-hook on the back here can turn this into a racer back, so that if you do have a problem where the straps go down your shoulders, you don't have to worry about that anymore. If you have an outfit where you want the straps out of your way, but you don't want to have a strapless, you can do that too. You can leave these with the natural configuration as well. It doesn't have to have the J-hook on it. But then you also can give your muscles a break. Change out where they're holding things. So if you're having back issues and you want to try a different type of bra, something with a J-hook could be a life, a game changer for you. And then you don't have that really uncomfortable extra piece. We have the extra piece, those accessories that'll turn it into a racer back, but you don't have to use that. That can be a little uncomfortable. They're trying to make them a little bit softer, but this is a better, in my opinion, this is a better alternative. There are some people who never use this, and I say cut it off. Just get some little metal snips and cut that puppy off if you don't use it. So, do you have any questions about this bra?
I don't have any questions. I just want to comment. Well, I think I'm going to say it right. So if not, I guess it's a question. This is a fashion color, so it will only be available until it's gone.
Right.
Correct? So perfect color
Right.
for the upcoming Valentine's Day.
It is beautiful. And the other thing about these cherry reds,
Mm-hmm.
if you wear this cherry red under a white shirt, it does not show.
Really?
Hmm.
It's
Wow.
try it out at home. I did not believe it either, and I made 3 different models, put on different cherry reds, and then put on different white shirts. I'm like, that's not real. And they're like, no, really, watch this. Yeah, the French girls are like, no, really, hold on, let me show you. But yeah, the cherry reds, not the orangey reds, but the blue-based reds. That's what's going to not show under
Interesting.
your white shirt.
Oh, yeah, because there's
It
blue and a lot of
blends.
white. So
White,
it's sort
right.
of, yeah.
It
Okay.
neutralizes it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I say go with as much red as you want. Be daring with your color. Be bold. All right. Bra of the week. There you go. So do you want to hear something really extra fun that's going to be happening in the early February?
No, not at all.
No.
Now tell me.
No, we're not really about fun.
Yeah.
Well, it's fun
What?
for
What?
bras.
Fun for bras.
It's fun for bras.
I'm fine with bra-based fun.
Well, you can't come.
Based.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay.
So that particular company is Elomi. They also, the same salespeople sell me Fantasy and Freya and Goddess. All right.
Okay.
Goddess
crap, I
is your
can't get
most popular.
Goddess
bra,
is my most
right?
popular bra. I
Basic
can't get
bra.
the damn earphones back on. It's like I'm trying to
You're
put them
putting them on your boobs.
there. Okay, so we're talking boobs today. Sorry. So
The
they're
boobs are
sending
listening.
a fit specialist to me February 6th and 7th to do extra special delightful fittings. So if you want to have a fitting from someone that's not currently on my staff but is like a national trainer, come on the 6th and 7th. Preferably make an appointment, 313-288-0449. Call Busted, send me an email, send me a private message, whatever. We'll make a appointment for you to have an appointment with this special fitter. It's called a fit event.
A fit event.
And we'll have special sales and gift with purchase and all kinds of things around that day, but that's going to be for people who make their appointments.
Mm-hmm.
Make your appointments.
Appointment time.
Appointment time, something special and delightful. And of course, we have all kinds of fun specials coming up.
Speaking of special and delightful, you have an event coming up at the end of the month in New York that you go to, right?
In February, the end of
The end of-
February.
excuse me, at the end of February, not the end of this month.
Yes.
And who are you going to get to see there?
And I found out this was actually top secret.
Oh, can I not say it?
I don't know. We said it
Oh.
before. So Marley Stackers.
Well, only our listener base will know. So
Yeah. There you go. Marley Stackers is going to be
So-
there.
So Lee's going to get to meet Marley.
I'm so excited. She is an amazing designer. If you know anything about bras or you hear me talk about them, then so I should bring Marley's next week. I should bring some of her stuff.
Oh, I'm
Oh, I
like,
was gonna
I'm
say,
like, oh,
oh,
you're
yeah,
personal
bring
friends
her
with her
on.
now. You can just bring her on. Okay, cool.
Yeah, me and MD, we're good. She
Who
is a
does she
redhead.
design for?
For Marley Stackers.
Oh, her own.
Her own brand. She's
Beautiful stuff.
she's Dutch. She's Dutch. You remember the real strappy stuff that I had?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, she has some crazy, fun, funky stuff.
Yeah.
So it's good.
So I have a couple of things to talk about, but should we talk to Carrie first, since
We
she's
should.
here, and then we can.
Nick, did you not turn your notifications
Did
off,
I
or is
not
that
turn
me?
mine off? I think that might be.
Who is that? Or is that my?
It's not.
That might be you.
It's not me.
Yeah, I don't have any volume on, so.
I got nothing on me.
I'm turned off.
Cool.
Weird.
How do you turn Lisa off? Hey, Carrie.
Hi,
So Carrie's a maker.
maker.
She's a maker.
A maker of things.
A maker of things. She makes things. You want
Lots
to?
of things.
You ask her, hey, I need some leggings. Okay. She can make them. She can order them. She can print things on them. She's also a graphic designer.
So Carrie, you'll do like printing,
I do screen printing
and stuff, but you
embroidery.
also actually are a
Des-
seamstress and
Yes, I
and
made
pattern
this shirt.
maker.
I made this top.
Really?
You see this?
Kinda.
Nice.
I printed this.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? Can you see it on the thing?
From this, Jess?
My
Can,
leggings.
can you see
can in
on
this
the
one, I
thing
can't.
whether you can just see the legs sticking up
Could
from
you? Let's see.
Yep, you can.
Yeah, just about. Just about.
You
That's
can
nice.
get any higher, dude. I'm too old. Okay, so yeah.
So if you need help with designing your logo, branding, a fun T-shirt, shirt made, cardigan.
She did the embroidered little hats that we had.
The ones that you brought last week?
The beanies.
Yeah, the one that
Yeah.
you and Luna were wearing.
I've
yeah.
been wearing mine around town.
She makes my vinyl signs for my
Oh, yeah.
doors.
Vinyl.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yep.
I was in Ann Arbor Monday for an appointment and wore the hat. And
People looked at you funny, like, busted. What?
well, there were some people looking at me, and I was like, "Do I have food on my face? Is it the busted hat? Do I just like not fit into Ann Arbor?"
The answer was yes.
Yeah, it's all of the above. And then I was leaving. I went to Zoop for lunch after my appointment, and I was leaving, and a gentleman said to me in French, he was looking in his 60s in French. He said, "Let me get the door for you," and I was like,
Thank you.
I said merci, but I was like, and then I walked out, and I was like, he just said that in French to me. Okay, whatever.
I didn't know you spoke French.
I have almost a minor in French, but I went to undergrad like 15 years ago and have never actually needed to use it, so can't remember a damn thing except to say I'm going to the beach and ask for a napkin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
That
That's
works.
what. Well, when we were over at La Boheme, Jean-Luc, I said bonjour, and he was like, "Oh, you speak French?" I'm like, a little bit, a very little bit. And then he
That's
kind of
right.
looked at me and rolled his eyes and was like, "Yeah, okay, whatever."
La Boheme was good, though, right?
It was.
Yeah, that's over in West Village. It's a little. Have you been there, Carrie?
No.
It's a little French cafe.
It's a little French cafe right
yeah.
beside Sister Pie.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Is it new?
ish.
It was.
relatively
It opened
new.
last Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So it's almost a year old. The year of
Okay.
love.
They have
Yeah.
a little art gallery down in the basement. Oh, they did have a little art gallery down
Yeah.
in the basement.
They have the hottest bathroom ever.
The
It's
warmest
like a
toilet you
sauna.
have ever been in.
Yeah.
That's
I
not
thought
a
she
bad
was.
thing.
I thought she was exaggerating, and I'm like, I like a warm restroom. That's cool. And went down there. I was like, oh my goodness, this is like sauna level warm.
Oh.
It's
Yeah.
very warm.
All right.
Which is it's
Total relaxation.
Yes.
It's a great place to do
Um,
that.
but yeah, they have croque madame, croque monsieur, salad niçoise, things like that. So
a little
they're
cabinet
French.
full of macarons. It's
Yes, we
Oh,
did. We had
cute.
some beautiful little macarons. Which
Beautiful.
I was like, I almost asked for a Macron, which I mean, I would take him if he was offered, but the French president.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like, I just
They
got
just
totally
bring him out
lost.
sitting on a
Yeah,
doily.
he like there he is. Hi, hi.
He's little, so it's possible.
Hi, Emil.
I think you're too young for him.
Oh, I have more questions. I had a question.
Sorry.
No, he's younger than me. He's like in his 30s.
Yeah, but he's
wife's
married
To a
His-
60-year-old. That's true.
Yeah,
He is married to a
his
60-year-old woman.
teacher.
And she is beautiful.
See, I should have kept teaching.
You should have kept teaching. You should have kept teaching.
I actually turned off "I'm Hot for Teacher" today by Van Halen because I did not want the questions from the back seat. What does that mean? I'm hot for
Yeah.
teacher. Nothing.
Oh, you'll possibly
He
see
can't
in a
answer the
couple
math
years.
questions. They're very difficult, so he's getting stressed out.
That's
I have more questions. So I questioned the patrol supervisor car thing, like who the hell cares if they're getting.
Nobody knows what you're talking
Okay.
about.
So I went to get gas station coffee before coming here, right across the street. And as I'm pulling out, I pull behind a police vehicle, and it says patrol supervisor, and it made me think, why do I care if you're a patrol supervisor or not? If you're going to pull me over, I don't care who you are. If you've got handcuffs and a police ID.
Pretty
Write me a
sure-
ticket.
Yeah, you're going to write me a ticket and I have to pay it.
So the other question I had was when I went and got my super sugary, not just coffee drink. I did one of those like the gas station cappuccino powder. It's English toffee. What the fuck with English toffee, Nick? Is that different from other toffees in some way?
And
Is it like snobbier?
Since you have the accent, you have to answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
know about
It's one of
crackers, you
those
gotta know about
things-
English
it's One of,
toffee.
it's one of those things. I would just call it toffee.
Yeah.
It's. I guess it's another way of like doing caramel with more vanilla in it. Maybe I don't know. It's.
I mean, if I make
don't
toffee, it's
notice
not
a
any
difference.
less than any different than English toffee, is it?
Right. I mean, usually the way I got toffee in England, I mean, you can get them in the little wrappers, but you can get this stuff called Bluebird, and it comes in like a big cartouche-shaped thing, which is guaranteed to pull out every one of your fillings. And that's basically
It's like a what were those candy bars that we had? The cow.
cowtails or something.
yes,
Yeah.
cowtails.
No, not cow tails, but they were even chewier than that. It was like a stick of caramel with a black cow, or
Brown
Why are
cow.
you
Brown
looking at
cow.
me?
Brown cow. Okay, so that
Did I do
kind
that
of
with you?
thing.
No, because we're of the same age. I figured we might
Oh,
have both experienced.
Yeah,
I
so
tell
that-
you what, if somebody gave me a pickle or a piece of chocolate option, I went with a pickle. So the whole candy thing didn't become a thing for me until after I had my kid.
See, I'm more of a salt person now, but was definitely a sugar and chocolate person as a kid.
So yeah, I don't know. I think it's one of those things where it's just
They're just
English.
trying to class
it's,
it
it's
up.
kind of like the English beat.
At the coffee, at the
Let's just
the
call it the
coffee,
beat.
Trying to class
in
it up at the
English.
mobile
At the gas
gas
station? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause,
They're like, we're going to call it English toffee because, oh my God, if it was Alabama toffee.
nobody wants that.
Did have a couple of turnip greens thrown in.
Right.
Made it with hot pepper
There's
sauce,
some pot
which
liquor.
I actually might eat.
It was made with pot liquor.
Always a great phrase.
So because we had a very creative person coming on today, last night I got inspired. I did. Because my nails look like crap and I'm doing this whole new thing where I'm trying to actually look very feminine.
I know.
Okay.
I noticed
Did you
them.
notice that?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's different. Do you see what I did?
You did the mat.
Do the
and
mat.
I did a black French manicure with
Oh,
a
interesting.
matte black and then the shiny black tips.
Fancy.
Uh-huh. Right?
I really
Fancy
have
goth.
to redo mine. Mine are all.
I just
You have all different colors. I love it. May
This
as
one
well.
always comes off. Something with the left thumb.
The left thumb always comes off, or the
It's my
polish?
dominant hand. Yeah.
Oh, you're a lefty.
Yeah.
Oh,
All creatives are lefties.
I did not know that.
I will post.
Oh, I'm like, what? No, this
give
is
me
a
your
better
damn hand.
Give me your hands. I'm like, what do you want, Nick? Okay, so you have done me so many good turns. My doors always look good. I
The vinyl's great.
the vinyl's
Yeah,
easy to
very
use, and I'll
pretty.
use that when we're opening in our next store.
Oh, yeah.
We've been Lisa and I have been in negotiations
That's
with
top
a
secret.
place. It's not really top secret because I talk about it a lot. That's my ticket. We had to open up a new LLC in Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
because
Chicago,
we've
right?
got a Chicago space. We haven't totally given them money, so I mean it's not
Or signed
in the
lease
bag.
because we need a legal entity.
So that'll
before
be
we
an
sign
excuse
it.
for me to go to Chicago so I
Yes.
can do your vinyl and,
Yes.
and outfit you with apparel.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Busted Chicago is going to be a thing. But so if you have a small business or you want to do T-shirts for a small group of people instead of having to order 3,000,
large group.
or you can
Or you
I
can
do
order
some
3,000.
you can.
Well,
But if
I've
you
done
don't want to,
800
there you
at
go.
a time. I do some school spirit wear.
And you do it out of your house now, right?
I do.
That's great.
And I'm also, I have a few events coming up, some workshops.
Ooh, tell us about those.
I'm doing a denim mending workshop.
What?
Yes. It's called shashiko. It's like an ancient style of mending, like visible mending. It's really cool. If you
Oh,
go to
I
my
think I saw-
if
you
you go to my
put that out.
Instagram, Goods Detroit.
So like hand mending?
Yeah, so kind of like embroidery,
whip?
hand stitching.
So is it like a whip stitching or?
Whatever you want to do, you can get
Really?
creative. So this Saturday at Kitty Deluxe in St. Clair Shores, the cute pink house on Harper, I'm doing a denim mending workshop from 4 to 6.
That's
So you
cool.
bring your holy
Interesting.
jeans or whatever you want to repair, and I'll provide the supplies, and we're gonna stitch it up.
That is so cool.
So I'll be doing that in St. Clair Shores, and then I'm working on getting one set up in Wyandotte with the Downriver Council for the Arts in February, and then I'm working on getting one in Detroit set up a date.
Cool.
So
You'll
different
let us know.
workshops, yeah.
Where that's going to be.
And I have some screen printing classes for teens too. Farmington Hills Recreation or the Art Council. February 11th is a teen screen printing workshop. So
That
if
would
you
be
have
fun.
teens or
You
Yeah.
just want to act like one?
yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
you can go to their website and sign up for the class.
Now I sew, but she refers to me as a seamstress and I'm not. I follow a pattern and go
She made her wedding dress.
from a pattern.
But
Still.
yeah.
So that's a whole nother story. But yeah, it was very pretty, but I can't not like I can't make patterns or follow patterns. Lisa, you are a pattern maker?
I do.
So you
Really?
just tell her something that you
Nice.
like. I kind of like this, and here's a picture, and I'm wondering if you can make that out of this material. And she's like, "Yeah, I think I can do that."
I'm working on some projects to expand goods a little bit. So beyond the printed T-shirts
Oh,
and
yeah?
sweatshirts, I'm doing some small batch sewing. So if you go to my Instagram, you'll see some ponchos that I've made the last few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on some overalls
What?
and some really cool like women's workwear.
What about the children's stuff? Are you still doing
Oh, I do that too.
little children's things?
Yeah.
Have you gone over to a company called Little High Flyers
We've gone back and forth a little
with
bit.
Karina?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Because Little High Flyers has European high-end things.
Yes.
But I can see her taking your mending jeans workshop for the kids who get the holes.
Oh,
to do
yeah.
That could be kind of
Yeah,
fun for you
kids-
guys. So
yeah.
I'll try to.
Mm-hmm. And the
Try to
class is
hook you guys
open to adults, but 10, 12-year-olds, if they're comfortable with a needle and thread, they're welcome to come too.
Cool.
So do you
Yeah.
do any costume making?
I just did some kids' costume ponchos.
I'm thinking that
Yeah,
we were
so-
talking to someone about
Cosplay.
various festivals and cosplay
Mhm.
and fairs. Like, do you do that kind of?
Yes, I'm actually more comfortable working with knit fabric. So there's a lot of stretchy lycra type things
Yeah.
in cosplay and costumes. So if you have
And not so
requests,
stretchy.
email me.
It's not so
Why not
stretchy
so
stuff too.
So
Yeah,
one of the
yeah.
fun T-shirts that she made for us one time was for Lively's birthday. He was, I don't know, 7 or 8 years old.
That's been a few years.
It was, and just being in here and with the yeah. So it was. What's the name of this world again?
Minecraft.
Minecraft. This looks like Minecraft. Yeah, it
Yeah.
always looks like Minecraft to me. So he had Minecraft T-shirts made, and there's a thing in the Minecraft called a creeper.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you put the T-shirt on, the creeper was inside the
Oh,
T-shirt.
yeah, that's what we did when we flipped it up.
When you flip it up,
I have a T-shirt like
I
that.
know. You should tell her about your T-shirt.
So my T-shirt like that says, "Ask me about my Tyrannosaurus Rex." And then when people say, "What about your Tyrannosaurus Rex?" you put your elbows in it and flip it up over your head and go like this.
So that way you have little
It's
bitty
got a
hands.
face of a Tyrannosaurus Rex printed upside down on the inside.
So dumb. We were at a festival over in Hamtramck. She wore it. It was warm, and people kept asking her. She's like, "From like, careful what you flip up."
I did wear
Yeah.
a cami under it. So just
I've made some crazy T-shirts, so nothing is off limits, really. I'll make whatever.
Careful how you. Nothing's off
Well,
limits.
that's a door that's been opened then.
There you go.
So,
I do sew bras and panties, so
Ooh.
Okay.
So I should have told the Underpinnings Museum that we were going to have Carrie on, and because they were like, "Hey, let me know when you're going to talk about us."
I
But
am wearing a bra I made, but I won't show that to you right now.
Show me later.
yeah. So we mentioned a while back, because the Underpinnings Museum was having a history of lingerie. There's an online museum of lingerie called the Underpinnings Museum, and they basically what they do is like catalog photographs of various lingerie throughout the years.
Uh-huh.
So what did a bra look like in 1930, and they've got stuff current day as well. So it's basically just an online museum, and they do some really interesting kind of
like the history of
so the event that they did, the Twitter webinar, whatever they did, can't even remember what all it encompassed, but it was
on social media.
it was a social media like webinar on
okay.
they had different kind of lectures about how people, like what people wore during certain time
And
periods and
why,
how it affected
and-
sociology, like how sociology affected it and things like that. It was really interesting. But I was like, we should kind of look at it and bring someone who does pattern making on.
We should look at it and actually talk about what happened with our nipples. Why all of a sudden our
Lee
nipples
has a nipple
became
obsession because we are as Americans obsessed with nipples or hiding them.
hiding them,
Right, yeah.
and why they became such evil things. Because I swear our boobs have been vilified.
'cause that means sex.
Does it? Does that mean
No.
sex?
People
Weird, because
think
if it
about
belongs
sex.
to a man, it doesn't. And,
No.
you know, it's
So, there used to be a time when, I mean, boobs were just worn out and you were lifted and they weren't hidden. And now it just seems like we have to hide them and we can't have nipples and we can't, people
Maybe
make,
there's some secret thing we don't know about them, like they truly can shoot lasers or something.
maybe
Like Austin
they
Powers
can.
situation.
Maybe the power of our boobs is beyond what I think they are.
Because hey, you can be clothed as long as you like X over your nipples, right? Like you,
right.
yeah, that apparently
you
is
put
not.
a pasty on and you're
But
good.
as soon as your nipples show, you're
There
naked.
has to be some history. I bet we could Google
there are
it.
some.
And,
There-
yeah.
It's got to be based on the church. Nick,
It's
you know
just
everything.
Puritan.
What is it?
Well, I don't know everything. I do know that you can find ads from the 70s, which are specific tops for those who are deficient in visible nipples.
Seriously?
Oh, to
Yes.
add visible
I've been
nipples?
trying to hide this
Oh,
shit for
so-
the
Yeah,
last 20 years. and
yeah. Like
They were
so,
like out trying to show them.
yeah. So there are a few ads, and they're basically a top, and on top there's like a little bit of
A nipple.
I would imagine
insert.
Bakelite or something that is just sitting there, so that you can get that foxy, I think is how they refer to it, foxy stiff nipple look.
Damn, I would have been super sexy in the 70s.
See?
Hey, Jacqueline Bisset, man.
Things change, right?
Hmm?
It doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, why?
But I think it's part of the same thing. I think it's part of the same. The female nipple is like the most devastating
Yeah.
display.
We're terrifying. Our nipples
Yeah.
are terrifying.
Yeah, so like in the 70s when everyone was like, "Rah,"
Well, and they did like highlight men's junk in their tight jeans
That's
too.
true, too.
So, and nowadays we're like, please put that away, sir.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Um,
but I love you, but your junk is not cute.
It never was. It was always like, tight shorts, bad idea. And on roller skates.
Oh, now you got me thinking Reno 911.
lots of chafing.
I'm thinking, have you ever seen Reno 911?
No.
Have you seen Reno 911?
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about.
It's an old, well, not super old, but a Comedy Central TV show that was like a cops, but really bad, stupid
Just
cops.
really bad.
And one of the
few crazy clips I remember.
one of the officers wore super tight short shorts and had like a handlebar mustache, like 70s.
yeah.
style.
So Patrick could do that. Look for us.
It was basically
stop.
his look,
Does he
a
have
bit
a mustache
shaggier hair,
yeah.
a bit shaggier hair, and then in like UPS driver tight shorts, and roller skates.
Like chips and shorts.
Yeah, I'm gonna text you a
Yeah.
picture of
Yeah,
him
there's
later.
a crazy clip. I'll have to find it. send
Okay,
it to
I'd
you.
love to see that.
She hadn't seen Shveddy Balls until a couple weeks ago.
We were.
With Saturday Night Live.
It was.
Saturday-
It was a
yeah.
night with a lot of bourbon, and then when she showed me Shreddy balls, I was like, nice. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, we were sitting in her neighbor's basement watching SNL clips during a party. It was
It was fun.
Mm.
It was fun. I think we should do that again over at their house because my house is still.
like, Tim, we're gonna need your bar.
Tim, we gotta
You can
come
be
over.
here or not.
Yeah. We'll watch the kids. Psych. Cool. Yeah.
So I wanted to bring up a couple of social media, social kind of things going on. First of all, were you into science fiction writing, like books, reading them?
yes.
Do you know Ursula Le Guin?
Yes.
Oh,
She
yeah.
died.
Yeah.
She died yesterday, so I'm gonna pour one out metaphorically for Ursula. I'm not gonna pour my coffee on the ground, but
It's all right, I already spilled something.
right.
He did it.
Nick took care of it for us. So
Nick
she was
still-
88, so long life, but still, I was sad when I saw one of the other sci-fi writers I follow on Twitter posted that
SP.
she was
Yeah.
gone.
No, Joanna put it out there too. Joanna Hastings. She's doing
Yeah.
some. She's doing some really cool stuff.
I don't know her.
She is based in Ann Arbor. She models for us every once in a while, and she does great bikini modeling. She's 50s maybe. Anyway,
I don't know,
she
and I
does-
wouldn't presume to guess.
Flying Trunk Stories.
That would be a
Look that
bad
up for
idea.
me just to make sure I
It
got
is
the
Flying Trunk Stories, so,
flyingtrunkstories.com.
I don't know. About
Pretty
the
sure it's
.com,
.com.
but-
Flying Trunk Stories. Google
Joanne,
that.
Are you listening? 'Cause,
She has this really fantastic new service for children to help them get into books. different age groups of books. And from the way I understand it, you pick this book experience, and the story is sent to the children by mail in small clippets, and it's more like a letter being written to the child about this story, and then they get artifacts that are sent to them, and
so it's kind of the combination of reading
mysterious.
and the mystery boxes.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's sort
So-
of a revival of the, serial story that used to, like a lot of classic novels started like that too.
Really?
Yeah, like most
Yeah,
of Dickens.
that's why his novels are so fucking long, and they don't need to be,
Oh.
because they were in
Oh.
they were
Yeah.
in
They were in serial
serial
parts.
What's the name of it?
Park.
Like Reader's Digest books where you'd get like
the
few
condensed
chapters?
version.
Yeah, I
but
love
those,
Condensed version.
yeah,
But no, like Dickens would write
Like,
Great
it would be like an Atlantic
Expectations was like
Monthly.
30 issues
Right.
of this thing.
So you'd get like an Atlantic Monthly, and there would be a chapter of Great Expectations. It wasn't an Atlantic Monthly, but like that kind of a New Yorker kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And there would be a portion of the story, and you would follow along every month. So that's
Yeah,
why you would
and they
keep
have
your
a-
subscription up, right?
Right, exactly. And like a lot of science fiction
I
writers
swear they
were
got
like that.
paid by the
Lovecraft.
word.
They're probably dead. Well,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. There's a you obviously have a problem with that.
I agree.
Not a fan of most of Dickens's extremely blah 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 writing.
I'm with you, and Tolstoy is who I have a hard time with. But I've finished things by him.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
A Tale of Two Cities, good. Some of the other stuff, I love Great Expectations. My favorite character in literature is Mrs. Havisham. Miss Havisham.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Okay, so Dickens' real skill was writing the macabre, and Miss Havisham is
I
one of
love
them.
her.
Yeah.
Do you know Miss Havisham? So she was the one who got jilted at the altar. So she's sitting in a room with a cake from the wedding that never happened, and spiders are crawling out of it.
And she just walks around. She
She just
sits
walks-
around in her
It's like the
wedding
best.
dress. Yeah. Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, like 20 years later, she's still in
Yeah.
the wedding dress. The cake's still there.
Yep. Mice
Spiders
are crawling out.
yeah.
She's been raising a daughter to be like hateful towards everything as revenge against like the world for doing this to her.
Oh, okay.
His real skill is writing the creepy and the macabre, and people think of Dickens. People think of Dickens
That one, dude.
as
Let's just call him the Dick.
yeah. They think of him as like this, charming writer. Oh, lovely! We're going to be watching this. But actually,
Timmy! Oh, Timmy!
yes, but actually, his real skill is writing the horrifying and creepy. Like, you can actually go through most of his books, and the bits where he really comes alive are where he's describing the absolutely worst and most disgusting and horrible parts of the world.
Yeah.
He's really good at that.
Well, and he was like the whole Industrial Revolution,
No.
that's all great. It's just the amount of words he used is the problem.
So now we have some more things coming up that we really need to make sure that if anybody is going, hey, there's stuff that we need to go do in Detroit. The Glitter King, we had the producers. And
February 17th.
February 17th.
One day only.
One day only, one evening only. Do not be late. If you're late, you
Where's
go back
that
in
at?
the door. It's in Grand on the Grandy or something.
Yeah,
like
the
that.
Grand on the Grant.
Google the Glitter King and you'll find it.
Fuck.
I don't have my little computer in my hand. It's up there.
I'll Google it for you. Just keep talking.
Thank you. Okay. And you're supposed to be dressed as like a punk goth.
You don't have to, but it's less fun if you don't.
Right. Or you can go into formal wear if you want. So I have this really cool new shaggy fur thing that I'm going to be wearing. And I've got an outfit for Lisa if she'll buy her ticket.
Oh, damn it. I got to buy my ticket.
Buy her ticket. Yeah, I've already bought my ticket.
It's the Grand on River,
The Grand on River.
Okay.
Saturday, February 17th.
Starts at
So,
9, but you have to be there at 8:30.
yeah, and you're kind of part of the crowd, and you dress in either glitter punk, or high fashion,
Haute couture.
Yeah.
or whatever the hell you want. But those are kind
Make
of
it
the two-
flashy.
Yeah, be
it
fun.
flashy.
It's
Be
a
fun.
fun night.
So I'm really excited about that. That seems like it shouldn't be as undergrounded as it is. I think everybody should really put it on their radar and go and see her. She is a Bram Stoker award winner. Yeah, she is the lady who.
Didn't I just see SP was nominated
Yes,
this year?
you did.
Yeah.
SP Miskowski. She did. That's a great thing. Writers are awesome. We love them.
Yep.
Writers rock. So
do.
more and more creatives. The other?
There are 3 more performances of Tales from the Mitten, who our guest last week, Luna Alexander, wrote and starred in.
Luna's delightful.
Luna is delightful, and the show is great, especially if you're familiar with Michigan theater. But even if you're not, it touches some really important things about what it's like to be an actor and what it's like to be a woman and someone who isn't white in acting. It's
What? There are not white people?
I know, it's amazing. Weirdly, a lot of the voices given to people who aren't white in acting are still coming.
Still white people?
Are still coming from white people, and that's actually an important point.
Well,
in
you know,
that.
it's interesting because like it's similar with the disabled community. I watched NCIS because I'm 70. But so NCIS New Orleans, and there's a guy in a wheelchair.
Wait, was that on last night?
I don't know.
I
I
might have
DVR
flipped it
everything,
on.
but there's a NCI New Orleans. First of all, Scott Bakula's in it, and if you remember Scott Bakula from
Did he jump through
is he
time
the
and
best?
stuff?
That was the best.
What was that show?
He was
Jump
so
through time.
and he was so
called Quantum
hot.
Leap.
Quantum Leap, and he
Quantum
was,
Leap.
Okay.
and he was so hot.
Was he?
Anyway,
Was
yes.
he really?
Yes,
He was hot?
Yeah, he still is. But he's now the police chief of or not the police chief.
Just,
He's
just as a matter of interest,
Yeah,
do you,
that
do
was
you
on
like,
last
do you
night.
like Robert Mueller? Do you find Robert Mueller kind of
the prosecutor.
Yeah.
No,
That's weird because Scott Bakula kind of.
I think it's probably more attitude than it,
Okay,
than it
okay,
is like
okay.
eyes.
I'm just saying, if we do Fire and Fury, the movie,
it could be Scott Bakula.
Scott
Mueller.
Bakula could totally be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but so I loved Quantum Leap, loved Scott Bakula. Anyway, he's like the head of the criminal investigation unit in New Orleans,
Yeah.
and everything's
Yeah, that was on
surrounded
last night. I
music, whatever. But there is a tech guy, computer dude, who's one of the characters,
in the wheelchair.
and he is in a wheelchair. He's an African American man in a wheelchair, and I just always assumed that he was a dude who could walk, playing a guy in a wheelchair, because that's what happens, right?
Yeah.
You have people playing autistics and playing but they're not,
right.
or transgender.
Yes.
They're
But is he actually?
he is actually
he?
wheelchair bound. He was in a
Okay.
motorcycle accident in 2001 and is paraplegic, and he actually truly is. So
Huh.
yay to Hollywood for actually
Yeah, I
casting
think
somebody
there's a
who
few other shows that they're actually using disabled.
well, and I know that I've never watched the show Transparent,
Transparent.
but Jeffrey Tabor, what's his name?
Timbre.
Who is not trans, plays a gentleman who is like in his 60s and transitioning, and that had caused some uproar because there are all these trans actors. You could use a
Yeah.
trans actor, so that anyway, I found that fascinating that they actually
Very
using
good.
someone.
So
So there's
Visibility.
2 more things that we have to talk about.
yes.
Apromoto is
Oh,
coming
okay,
up in
great.
February.
Maybe 3.
Cool.
Maybe
Maybe
18. I don't know.
Okay.
But Apromoto is coming up, and they're doing a double entendre. I just want to say it's stupid. So
I speak French.
because I speak it French fries, French toast.
I know. I know what that means because I took French.
So did I, but I don't remember most of it.
Okay, so do you know who Apromoto is?
Yes, I've done their shirts and their bags, and
That's awesome. If you ever want to put any of your logos out there, always looking for sponsors. But they are working with Rotary for this double entendre production. And it's 2 short shows put together to make a nice long show. The February 20th and 21st showings are actually their dress and tech rehearsal. So instead of going on the nights that just getting tickets to these things right now are really tough. I mean, their entire last season sold out very quickly. So you can go to the dress rehearsals for $15 instead of $35 a ticket. And each ticket that's sold, $5 will go towards the local Rotary group. And the local Rotary groups right now are trying to bring in as many waterproof gloves and boots for our homeless community that are being passed out by Southwest Solutions. Southwest Solutions, the
Yep,
Pathways
they're one of
Group.
them. And I
Yeah.
just saw that they and 2 other nonprofits are actually providing after-hours services to the homeless until
Yeah.
like midnight because that was a big hole.
Well, our friend Julie.
oh yeah, I was just gonna say.
Yeah, our friend
should have
Julie.
her on.
She's going to be coming on here soon in the next couple of weeks. to talk about her superpowers. She and her group, there's like 6 people on this team. On their off hours, not during their regular hours, but on their off hours, they have been going out and helping get people in warming stations and getting them into shelters at night because they know where their clients are living. And it started at Christmas. She was taking dinner out to people who she knew weren't going to get Christmas dinner. And she was like, oh, my goodness, you are having, you have frostbite. We're going to the hospital right now to one fella. And then it happened again. And she said, we've got to start getting these people into either warming shelters or if they refuse to go, finding them boots and gloves. So they've been going out in these really very cold temperatures.
And they're
helping
usually
people.
looking for larger sized boots.
Yeah.
And
They needed a size 14. And this particular
gloves and
client didn't
things.
want to even talk to them. Wouldn't talk to them, wouldn't take their help. Finally, they were like, what do you need? He was like, well, I need boots. You can't get me boots. I don't want to see you again. So they found him size 14 boots. And now he's actually talking to them. They're getting him some help. They solve or try to eradicate homelessness. That's their mission, is to stop it instead of just treating the symptoms of it. So anyway, there you go. Plug. So Apromoto, I have put it out on our Facebook page, the link to go buy tickets. The tickets are only $15. This will sell out also. But the double entendre, one of them is called The Breast.
Yes.
And
That's just an entendre.
okay. Is it a tundra then?
Yeah. It's just
Is it a so I think this one actually is really good for the political timing of it all, which I can't speak anymore. So a woman is having children. She really is tired of the role of that you get pigeoned into as being a woman. You all you can do is take care of these children. All you can do is be at home and take care of the home. And she got to a point where she hated that position, that framework, the box that she was put in so much. Her breasts grow large and separate from her body and then attach to her husband. And then he becomes the nurturer and she goes out.
Did he get a uterus too? Because that really fucks you
That
up.
would really do it, right? And so I think in the end, he does actually take on the entire role.
Here, have some cramps, buddy.
Yeah, there you go. That would actually work. I remember saying that to my brother one time. Grow a uterus, and then you can have an opinion, mother. Yeah, he wanted to talk to me about who I was voting for president one time. Anyway, I digress again. So come to the show. Both of the shows are French. You'll see the links, and I'll talk about them. But Apromoto is fantastic, and they utilize local makers like Carrie at Goods.
Yes.
Yeah, which is awesome. So if I were to bring you some material that my husband bought in China that we've been talking about for a while, and he bought me another grouping of it too. Oh yeah, I've got a lot of it. We could talk about making something awesome, right?
We could.
Okay. We just need to sit down and say, hey.
And decide what you want made.
Well, yeah, okay. I got it. In my head, I know.
Draw
what
it
I
out.
want. I will.
Start from there.
She's real. She does that.
I'll do it.
Yeah, she's awesome. You want something made, this is the lady to talk to. So how do they find you again?
GoodsDetroit.com and both on Instagram and Facebook.
I like
Goods
watching your
Detroit.
Instagram. It's
My
fun.
personal Instagram is pretty fun too.
I guess that's what I'm on. Oh, I'm your friend.
I think we're friends both,
I think we are
personal and business.
too. I love that.
Yes.
So, not to interrupt the Love Fest here, but another thing going on this weekend, you'll appreciate this, Winter Blast.
Oh, no, really?
Winter Blast is happening
and
this
it's gonna
weekend.
be like 50 degrees.
And no, it's still going to be chilly.
Is it going to be cold?
It is.
Oh,
I think.
maybe in the 40s one day.
Who's going to talk to Apple? Because they're the ones that order the weather.
I'm okay with it being.
I think it's supposed to
40s or 50.
rain
Okay,
one
rain
day.
is good.
Well, that's
Rain
going to
is
be a problem
fine.
because there will be an ice garden.
Oh.
But this is why I said you'll do it, not the Winter Blast Polar Plunge, which you can do for charity if you would like to do that. Stupid shit.
Is there dogs? Are there dogs?
No, there are 2 downhill hills that Boyne Highland and Boyne
had
Martin
dogs one
are
time.
adding. They did. They had sled dogs.
Yes.
And I follow a
Oh.
musher on Twitter, and she is just super cool. Anyway, there will be a bunny hill for less experienced sportsmen, and the other will be more difficult. And the admission is $3 or bring in 3 canned food items.
I want to go do that.
26th through the 28th of January,
Nice.
downtown.
Let's go do it. Come
After you
skiing
come
with
to my
me.
mending workshop,
After we
that
go to
is.
mending
After
workshop.
mending workshop.
Yes.
Nice.
With your holy jeans.
I got some. Lively.
Or
Lively was
jacket,
wearing.
denim jacket.
I have, but they're not ripped. Lively was wearing his jeans to class. It was a gymnastics class. And he said all of a sudden he heard rip. And it ripped from like his waist to his knee. And I'm like, how did you do that? He was like, no, Mom, it was horrifying. I'm like, wasn't it funny? You didn't laugh? He's like, no, I was naked. I'm like, that you were far from naked.
Right.
Far from
You were
naked.
just showing a little skin.
He was like, but my red underwear was showing. I was like, did your junk fall out? He's like, that would have been horrifying. I would have had to
See,
change
it could have been
schools.
worse.
I'm like, so yeah, it was just your underwear, dude.
Yeah.
So he had to wear ski pants for the rest
So-
of the day. See, I told you it was you.
Speaking
Right,
of funny, another thing that you need to check out on Twitter if you have not. Do you know David Harbour? He plays the sheriff in Stranger Things.
Yeah, he's got a
I
great
still have
like
not watched
anger
that.
personality. What?
He is fantastic. You haven't
My
watched it?
oldest is watching it.
Okay.
I have not yet.
Yeah. The
You
first I've only watched the first season, but he I fell in love with him not because of that. This character's great. But because I follow his Twitter feed and he's just so freaking cool. So what he did is someone said, have you seen these? The trombone?
Oh yeah,
senior
the
pictures?
senior picture
someone-
is delightful.
Someone tweets out to him and says, how many retweets do I need to get of for David Harbour to sit with my senior pictures for me? And David Harbour was like, 2,000 and I get to hold a trombone and wear your school sweater. And he got them. So then they posted the pictures of David Harbour holding a trombone, wearing the sweater.
Yeah.
And then somebody else tweeted out, how many retweets to get David Harbour to officiate my wedding? And he's like, so many, but then I get to do X, Y, and Z. So he just tweeted out yesterday, hey guys, I'm a giver and I'm a giver, but I need your help. Because he had tweeted to Greenpeace, how can I get on one of your ships to go dance with penguins? And Greenpeace replied and said, 100,000,
Retweet?
and we'll talk to the captain about getting you on the ship. He got it. So now they're like, hey, guess what, David Harbour, you can go dance with penguins with us on one of our...
It's yeah, he's delightful.
So lovely. So now I have a crush on David
I
Harbour.
also love he has a video out there somewhere of his supposed screen test to be 11, where he's like playing the role of 11.
He wanted to be 11?
Yeah, he wanted to be 11, but it's 11.
You know, it's him or Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah, but it's 11 with extreme anger issues, and it's great.
Yeah, he's lovely. So and then when he tweeted to Greenpeace, he was like, and maybe we can teach him some of Sheriff whatever his name was dance moves, and there's a little clip of him in the sheriff's outfit
Hopper.
doing a little.
Yeah.
You got Harper, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopper or Harper?
Hopper.
Hopper. Yeah. So
Does he have a first name? I'm trying to think. I
Yes,
think
he
does.
does. And
He
they
does.
say it.
But
I
nobody
just-
cares.
Yeah, nobody cares. It's just Hopper. Okay.
So-
Dave. maybe?
no,
No,
I wanted to
I
go
don't
with
think it's
John. It's something generic.
Yeah, I don't think he's like Tony
Eugene.
Danza where he has to be Tony and everything. So I don't think it's David. But
Eugene.
you know what?
Chuck.
That sounds more in keeping with the period and also the character.
Did
but
anyone else think
Gregory.
that Tiny Dancer was Tony Danza growing up?
Yeah, hold me
No.
close now, Tony Danza. You know.
Yeah.
No,
It's not
but
like a beast of burden.
in Germany, they thought All the Leaves Are Brown, that song, All the Leaves Are,
Yeah.
was Andalisa Brown. And they kept going, so let's talk about this Andalisa. No. All the leaves are
Yeah.
brown.
That's trying to tell my 4-year-old what the lyrics are.
Well,
Actually,
Beast
the
of
song she's
Burden,
singing.
Lisa Burden.
I want to be your Lisa Burden.
That is what my sister, who is 7 years younger than me, thought the lyrics to that song were.
I've got Lively singing it now.
Super. So that's my theme song whenever I walk into a room. So yes, so David Harbour's making me happy because Ursula Le Guin's death is making me sad. So it's kind of all evened out. So check out his Twitter feed because it's super. The other thing I was super excited about for a hot second is I thought Pink was following our Twitter feed, but it's not really Pink.
It's not really Pink.
But it was
Pink
very
account.
exciting.
Yeah.
Pink person who's saying your Pink because it's got Pink's picture and it's got the name Pink, but the handle is not Pink.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not Pink.
It's not.
It's like
At
pink,
not Pink.
At not Pink.
Not
pink,
really.
pink
not
gossip.
really pink.
Yeah, just kidding.
Pink
More of
obsessed.
more
Yeah.
of a light red.
Nice.
Pale pink.
It'd be nice if the people
Okay.
from Vikings would follow us. Ugh.
Yeah.
They're so fun to watch.
Hey, Vikings people. Well, I don't know who they are, so go
Yeah.
tweet to them and they might follow us.
I do every once in a while, but it's usually as Busted Bra Shop instead of as Bras, Bitches, and Balls.
You know what? Try that because that seems like they might be more inclined for brass bitches and
Right.
balls.
Yeah.
It could be.
Mhm.
Maybe.
Yeah, they could be. They're
Yeah.
fun to watch. They do good work.
Yeah.
It's only a little violent. Vikings, the History Channel. You gotta love it. All right, so we have a lot of things that we've talked about this week. There's a lot of things coming up. January is surprisingly full
Busy.
of
Yeah.
of
I think
stuff.
everyone wants to jump in and start out the new year with everything.
vigor.
Yeah.
I like
And
that word.
I'm very excited to hear that Carrie not only puts logos on things, but makes stuff that you can
She's a
I'm
pattern
make
maker.
patterns
I'm
and
bringing hand skills back.
yes, because I have a cousin who is a seamstress up north. She owns her own
Mhm.
store, and she worked with metal too for a while. She actually one of her works is at the Detroit Zoo.
Wow.
Metal works, not fabric. My mom, I actually taught my mom to sew, but she grew up crocheting and knitting,
Mm-hmm.
and now she's sewing and she's making like doggy coats and things like that.
That's cute.
I just made a
Um,
bunch of dog coats too.
Yeah, so it's I just don't have the time to sew, but I'm not creative either. I just am like, give me a pattern and I'll follow it,
Well, I
I'm
know
both.
that you do the
Yeah.
testing too. Don't people send you patterns to
Yes.
test and see how good
Mhm.
they
Oh,
are?
really?
Yeah.
Can you
Yep.
Can you be found on Etsy?
I can be.
You have a store?
I don't have active.
Are you on
things.
the dark web, Etsy? No. Like I
I have
can
my
be, but
I have my own
What
shop
else do
on.
you make, Carrie?
I'm gonna need you to pay for that in Bitcoin.
No, goodsdetroit.com you can buy stuff off there. I do have an Etsy shop, but it's not always active.
So here's one of the really great things that she did for me. I wanted to change my D to get away from the English D because it's this was 2 or 3 years ago. And so I drew out this D on a cardboard box, and I took it to her. I was like, "Can you make this? Put it into a form where I can utilize it for my logo because I can't do that, and everybody wants to give me stuff that is not what I'm asking for. It's just got a measuring tape for the D around, and then there's a brassiere in the middle of it. So it's kind of like an English D, but totally not. an
Right.
English
So when
D.
you go to Chicago or somewhere else,
Right.
you're not using
The D is my
Right,
own D.
right.
Right, busted. And it took, she was like, yeah, looked at me like I had two heads. Of course I can, you dumbass.
That's not even hard. Give me a challenge.
I know. Like 20 minutes later, it's in my inbox. I was like, wow, that was easy. Thank you.
Just what I do.
You're great.
Thanks.
You're easy to
I
work
like
with.
creating. Stay busy. If my hands aren't busy making something.
Yeah. It's a good thing. And she
Right.
runs.
Oh, I'm
not-
sorry.
not a lot.
I only run if a bear is chasing me, and that's why I moved away from
You gotta
northern
go.
Michigan. There are no
I
bears,
do
but I
gotta
was
go
going to say
soon.
it is 11
Yeah.
o'clock, and I hear you have places to be.
The vet and picking up a child.
They need you.
So sorry.
So I'll tell you about the Vomit Spots another time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Vomit Spots are a band from when I was actually young and would go and be in bars and things, and they were down in Alabama. And they are still playing. You can find the
They
vomit
are.
spots. They are still playing. They're
Do they-
fantastic.
Need to
Do
get
they
'em to
ever
come
come
here,
up to
do a
Detroit?
special
I was going to
spot.
say
Yeah,
they
I
could
would love
open the
them.
show.
Yeah.
I would love for them to
Live.
come up and do that. Of course, we need a lot more money, but nice people, but really good punk rockers, just old fashioned punk rockers. So yeah, from Lower Alabama.
And yeah, I think as you're expanding and doing some more things, we'd like to hear more from you.
Yeah.
And maybe next time we can kind of look at the Underpinnings Museum first too, and kind of talk a little bit about
The history
the
of
history
fashion.
of fashion and
Fashion revolution.
pattern making and
show.
Yes.
Fashion shows.
absolutely.
Okay, we've got a lot more to plan, so we'll get it
Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
Thank you for listening to Bras, Bitches, and Balls. Jess is going to play the vomit spots for us one more time and take us totally out, I think, right? Yeah.
maybe not.
There we go.